Hey,
Good evening. How are you?
good. Let me turn down the racket. Hey, neighbor. Anyhow, yeah, they
If it's too loud, Ben.
let me turn down the racket. Yeah. If it's too loud, don't
If it's too loud, Ben.
let me turn, you know. Yeah. If it's too loud. So I'm getting all kinds of goofy feedback here. But anyhow, yeah, how's everything going?
Life is good.
Yeah.
You know how easy race week is.
So
Oh wait.
mhm.
But good to see you. Good to see everyone. Not that I can see the people watching, but we appreciate you tuning in because there's a lot of. We've been trickling a lot of information, but it's nice to make sure everyone's on the same page going into this.
Yeah. Basically, instead of everyone, hanging out at the start and going over all the details or sending out an email that, usually nobody reads, we decided to start doing these live streams, and it will also be online after the fact. So you can always look at it another time, or if you had a buddy that missed it, and you can make sure that they get to see all the stuff that's going on.
Yep. For the record, although we have our talking points, if anyone jumps in at any point and you have a question, past participants, you want to share a good horror story, good bit of advice, new blood, if you've got questions, just jump in, interrupt us. We're happy to answer your questions.
Yep. So, anyhow, what I'm going to do today, I am going to be basically just co-host, and we're going to have Patrick Saucy, the co-RD, be the host, the MC. So all I need to do, pretty much for the most part, is just sit back and chuckle every time something happens, like ha 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 ha, good one, Pat, and then you continue on with whatever you need to do.
Yeah, this
But
gives me Statler and Waldorf vibes.
yeah, I
All
was
right.
going with like an Ed McMahon. So, but anyhow, that might be a little bit older than most people would remember. But let's get everything, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So, anyways, first, this race is organized by the Eastern States Trail Endurance Alliance. We have the Eagleton Trail Challenge in March and April, but we're gonna probably move it to May next year, with some exciting things going on with that. Also, congratulations to our president, Jade Oaks. She had a very good turnout with the Eastern States weekend. So, hats off to her. And then, yeah, coming up is the other big race, the big show, the big show. That's not Sullivan. Anyhow, you're not getting any reaction from you. But anyhow, the Eastern States
Sorry,
100
Ben.
in August. Yes. So we're also, getting prepared for that as well. But before we go to Patrick, I just want to do a shout out to some of our sponsors that we have. We want to basically congratulate or make a notice to some of our sponsors, including the Bronco Wild Fund and the Neighborhood Ford Store. They are providing a lot of resources, and they're doing some really great stuff with some of the national parks and the state parks in all the different states. So glad to have them aboard. Also want to shout out to the Standing Stone Trail Club and the Mid-State Trail Association, as well as Rails to Trails. If it wasn't for those three organizations, there probably wouldn't be a race, because the course basically goes through their domains, whether it's in Rothrock State Forest or the section between Canoe Creek and the Mid-State Trail. I want to say thank you to Hydropack. Tailwind. Tailwind is a sponsor for Ironstone, and they will be providing nutrition throughout the race. Want to thank Buzzsaw Coffee Roasters from Williamsport. They'll be providing coffee in the morning on Sunday. We have beer from Levity Brewing over in Indiana and Altoona. They'll be coming by with, basically some beverages. Also to the First Frontier, Blair County. They are one of the sponsors and supporters of the race. So, yeah, that's basically just a quick rundown of some of the sponsors. And yeah, thank you for helping us out and making sure that trail running and trail racing is a thing here in this region of the state. So, thanks. So, want to go quickly through some of the swag that we have for you. All participants will get a shirt, a T-shirt, complimentaries from us. We will also be providing these works of art from a local trail runner and artist, Matt Lipsy, who basically etched out the entire course on this glass. So you can go through and pick out some of the sections and some of the history of the course, and it's an awesome keepsake and remembrance of what you'll end up going through, hopefully. Also, we got some stickers and some temporary tattoos. But then, if you make it to the finish, we also have some finisher stuff for you. And basically, one of the things that we are known for is the race flannel, the finisher's flannel. Pat right there is sporting. Pat is sporting the 2023 flannel. Compliments of I forget who we use as our vendor, but anyhow, we will have finisher flannels both in gender-specific sizes at the finish, and the only way for you to earn it is to finish this thing that we call Ironstone. We also have a kind of like an ironwork type of sculpture. It is I should have got one. In fact, I see one right there, but I won't get it. But it's a desk art that signifies that you are a ironstone finisher. They are pretty cool, made of iron. And also for the overall finishers, the two people, male and female winners, will get an additional award put together by a local craftsman. Christopher Esch out of Lancaster County. So thank you for him for providing the awards for this year. So, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
I guess maybe we should talk about, I don't know, some other acknowledgments that we want to shout out to.
Yes, shouting out to some captains. Some of them are waiting, or some of them are going to chime in today. I was just remembering to bump the link to Captain 2. But Aid Station 1, thanks to Josh Nicholson and his son of J Squared Entertainment. Aid Station 2, Captain is Victoria Johnson and run by the Altoona, PA Roadrunners, who do really, really nice work in the area. Aid Station 3, Kelly Martin O'Connor, past finisher, does a great job, and has an ongoing joke with Ben where you always refuse to – you always accuse her of living in Philly when she doesn't, or
yeah. I always accuse her for being in Philly, but she is also our second individual, the second fastest individual on the Ironstone course, the female second course record holder. However, that's an asterisk because the 3 best times is another individual. Her name is Mary Kowalski, 3-time finisher. We'll see if she can three-peat this year because she is going to be at it again at the.
Four-peat.
Well, she'll try to four-peat, but yeah, she'll be at the start. So she'll be the, I guess you can call the hare for this race. So.
All right. Takes us to aid station 4. Janice Hartcorn is involved with Allegheny Trail Runners, local to here, and she's also the volunteer coordinator for Eastern States. So if you're not running Eastern, you should make friends with Janice so she can help you sign up to volunteer at Eastern. Aid Station 5, John Grigorchik has been doing this since the race inception. He's from Johnstown, and congrats as a new-ish father, like less than a year. Aid Station 6, Central Pennsylvania Trail Friends, who do something at almost every race you go to. They are always there supporting. So co-captained by Luke Ebling and Maddie Sell. Also, Luke is the RD for Frozen Snot. So if you've run the course, make sure to thank Luke in person.
Yes, and that is another bonkers of a race. So yeah, it's great to have him associated with this race because I guess we're the gruesome twosome when it comes to kind of extreme trail running here in the central part of Pennsylvania.
Quick sidebar: we have a question already, and yes, thank you for asking questions. Will there be porta-johns on the course?
And I will answer this. Well, at aid station 1, 2, 3, and 4, there are permanent bathroom facilities. And at aid station 5 and 6, there'll be porta-johns. There will not be a porta-john at aid station 7 just because of the remoteness of the aid station, but there will also be a porta-john at aid station 8. So there'll be facilities at every aid station except number 7, which is Little Flat Tower.
Cool. All right, speaking of 7, that will be run by Lauren Sensi and Craig Miller, Rothroth Graskels, which do an outstanding running community in the State College, like Rothrock area. So please check them out on Facebook or Strava. They will, every run they do will beat you up in the best possible way, but they're super chill and a great community. So they've been doing aid station 8, but aid station 7 is on top of a mountain. They're constantly running up. So we were happy to let them take over that spot. Aid station 8 at Allen Seeger, just one of the most beautiful areas in this state, if not country, will be Stephanie Daniels and Carl Lear from Johnstown Running Club, race directors of Run the Q, Q Mahoning?
Run the Dam at
Run the
Q
Dam.
Mahoning. Yes.
I always cut
on the Dam Trail. Yeah.
Theoretically, she's going to be on later. She'll say it correctly, probably. But thanks to Johnstown Running Club for taking care of aid station 8, which is just a 10K from your finish. Some other key people, our trail boss is George Conrad. You will never see someone run so many miles with a chainsaw.
Yes. And fast fact, George Conrad is the president of the Standing Stone Trail Club. So he is one of the integral parts of the hiking and trail community here in Huntington County. So, yeah, make sure if you see him, and he'll be out and about, to give him some thanks. And he's always looking for some more trail maintainers. So
our logistics captain, Blake Cohen, who is the race director for Eagleton that we mentioned earlier, and quartermaster for Eastern States and the SD organization. So if you see a box truck on a road that you would not expect one on, that'll be Blake. Our amateur radio captain, Kevin Lear, works with us all in the races. We're very appreciative of him. You will not always have phone reception or internet at all the places on the course or even at all the aid stations. So the radio crew, you guys are an absolute godsend. Thank you.
Yeah, every aid station has there may be some issues, trying to get like a cell phone signal. So they are the ones that are, basically tracking everybody on the course, making sure everyone needs to show up where, they need to be show up. they coordinate with the logistics and the other volunteer coordinators, and make sure that the ship keeps on sailing forward. Speaking of aid station captains, I have someone here now. I don't know. Maybe somehow maybe after her run, he is fogging up the camera so we can't see her. But Steph, are you there? Steph was there.
Hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yep.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you're not getting me on camera.
Can we get Carl?
I hear that you were just on a run, and you're probably like in your car. Right.
I am in my car. Yeah. I don't have Carl with me. I don't know if he's gonna come in. I don't know if he's coming in or not. I messaged him and sent him a link. I know you guys only want to see Carl. So.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Yeah. Carl's the best, of course. But anyhow, so anything you want to to shout out or give thanks or any comments about your aid station? I know that you are probably in one of the oldest old growth forests in central Pennsylvania. So I'm pretty sure everyone will be floored whenever they come into Alan Seeger. But anything you'd like to comment?
So this is the first time we did this aid station. We did the one before the last couple years. So we're not really, I don't know how, so I wasn't at the beginning. How many runners do you have signed up? I wasn't listening because yes, I was running. How many runners are signed up so far?
We have exactly 100.
Oh, wow. So how many do you think will come to Alan Seeger at the last aid station?
Probably, well, if we go by the previous year's statistics, probably maybe 55.
Okay, my money's on all of them because they're all going to finish, right?
Yes. I'm not as positive as you are.
Cheers.
I'm always
so well, we're hoping to have lots of breakfast food for everybody. We're going to do some quesadillas, and we're going to have eggs in the quesadillas, bacon, lots of salty stuff because that's what everybody wants at that time. Broth to get you to the end. You only have 4 miles to go, but I've been told there's a horrendous climb, which is true Ben Major style. You have 4 miles, but you're not going to get there easily. So there's a nice climb there.
We're calling it Mount Quad because that seems to what people want to feel like whenever they hit that ridge. But and I know someone commented, yeah, there'll be 100 runners. Let's always. I mean, even though we always kind of how would I put it? We try to over advertise and the race is hard. But what we all, as race directors, Patrick and I, would like to see as many people as finish as possible. So, the further you can go, the further the prouder that we are, and of course, the accomplishment you'll feel for finishing this race would be over the hill, over top of the charts. So. Yeah, let's hope for a extreme finish.
And it's going to be hot, so we're going to have lots. We're hoping to have some towels there for everybody. Lots of water, lots of ice, soda, all that stuff. But if there's anything anybody wants at that time, and at that, 4 miles to go, if there's anything that's going to get you to the finish, let us know. We'll have it there for you. We can do anything. We're hoping for mimosas. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's lots of noise. Our aid station will be very loud. If anybody knows me, that's normal. So
everyone is we'll probably look forward to it. We do have a question.
And I'm happy to take this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the distance between aid station 6 and 7 is kind of long. Yes, we have a water drop in between, but we don't have a full aid station. Um, so in that segment, you are going to have 2 of our 4 big climbs. One big climb will be immediately after the aid station, so at least you'll be full of fuel. That section has the longest downhills you can run and enjoy. Like, we've done some nice preview runs. These are sections you can actually run going downhill and enjoy them coming into the second climb. So that distance is, I'll be honest, I'm not remembering the exact numbers to give you the exact mileage between the water drop, but that's a period of time where you can intentionally use up all of your water getting into the aid station, drink as much as you can. Sorry, like when you make it to the water drop, drink as much as you can. If you have a crew or using drop bags, that might be a section where you bring a large, fill your flask to the top, maybe bring an extra bottle, bring a handheld. So if you're worried about that distance, those are ways to carry a bit more water, and then you can fill up. Once you get to the water drop, it's technical. It's a slight uphill, but there are no giant climbs after you refill with water.
And also, it is the section that is during the middle of the night. So, the sun has gone down. It's a bit cooler. I know in the past, whenever we never felt we've gone low at that aid station. I mean, that water drop, but everyone seemed to filled up and was able to get the water that they need and make it to the next aid station.
Hope that helps. And then if you want any more bits, please chime in later, and we'll be happy to give some more specific stuff.
George has a question, and a very good question, because this is going to be a repeat from last year. What we're going to try to do is we're going to have all the aid stations to have ice. One of the kind of the logistic challenges of with ice is the fact that it melts, and being such a places being so remote. But each aid station will have a plenty of ice to start off with, and all of them will also have the availability to get more ice within, say, no more than a half hour. So if they run out, they can easily replenish their supplies. So the weather forecast is pretty much similar to last year. So, from that, I forget, I have a chart somewhere that told us how much ice was used up by all the aid stations. And yeah, there was a lot of ice.
Specifically, we had coolers that I could climb inside. The early aid stations will have one of those. The second half of race, every aid station is going to have at least 2 of those coolers completely pack loaded of ice. So we're rooting for you.
Now we have some more questions. Do you want to take these whenever we get to that part? Because basically they talk, they're more concerned about some sections of the course. So we can wait until then, or we can go through the questions now.
I'd like to introduce our next guest, because our medical coordinator is backstage right now. Let's let him talk, and then we'll go through some of these questions.
All right, we'll do. In fact, there he is.
Yeah.
How did we do that?
Hey, everybody. So a couple of things on the medical side. Definitely want to mention the fact that the medical volunteers will be at all the aid stations. We'll have EMTs and other people working as volunteers helping the EMTs out. We have EMS crews along the race course that will be handling different segments of the race should we need EMS help. Definitely want to let everybody know that the medical volunteers are on site to help you finish this race. We're not here with the intention of dragging you off the course against your will. So we definitely want you to finish. And if we see you have a medical condition, we're going to talk to you about it in hopes of, if it's serious enough that we feel you shouldn't continue, we want it to be a mutual decision and not some heavy-handed decision that comes down from the medical coordinator to pull you. We're going to try to make sure that you guys finish the race. We do have final authority to make a decision if, in cases in the past where I've made the decision to pull runners, they've had lacerations that required stitches. They were delirious. They had altered mental states from dehydration. It was just not safe for them to continue. And those decisions with those runners were mutual decisions. So we want everything to be based on informed decisions and informed consent so that we're all on the same page. There are some runners, I'm sure, that are going to, that take regular medical prescriptions on a daily basis. Since this race is over the course of 2 days, if you have prescriptions that you normally take, make sure you have them with you and just take them on schedule. Aid station volunteers and medical volunteers during this race course will not dispense medications, prescription medications to you. So make sure if you're on a prescription drug, take it with you, take enough to have to finish that second day and stay on schedule with your prescriptions. Let's see here. The next thing I want to talk about is what everybody knows is coming, the heat and the humidity. We've lived through it already, some this year. This race, I just checked the forecast. It's going to be close to upper 80s, maybe 90, and most likely very humid. These are the primary conditions that lead to dehydration. High heat, high humidity, where the body just you can't offload the heat fast enough and your core temperature starts to rise. And so we want everybody that's running this race and the medical volunteers to be on the lookout for signs of dehydration, and I'll cover those in a minute. But the highest risk occurs with that humidity and high temperatures. But I want you to think of hydration starting now. And everybody that's participating in this race, the best way to know if you're hydrated leading into this race is to look at the color of your urine. If it's clear, you know you're hydrated. If it's dark yellow, you better start drinking, because you cannot start this race in a depleted or dehydrated state. The odds of you finishing are very low. So there's some symptoms that everybody needs to be on the lookout for, medical crew and runners alike. Symptoms of dehydration or heat illness would be dizziness, fainting, nausea or vomiting, low levels of coordination where you're staggering around, even hyperventilation, or all of a sudden you're hot, but you're not sweating anymore. That's borderline medical emergency, and we will stop you and hold you up and try to get you rehydrated and get you back on the course. A couple of years ago, we had the same thing occur. We got this runner came into an aid station. We recognized immediately he was in the early stages of heat illness and dehydration. We sat him down. We got food into him. We hydrated him with salty foods and plenty of fluids. He ended up finishing the race. So the fact that we sit you down and say you need to take a break and hydrate doesn't mean your race is over. It means we're trying to salvage your race for you so that you can continue and finish. So I think that covers everything that I wanted to talk about. Just start hydrating now. Make sure you have electrolytes with your in your pack. If you don't like the selections that we have on site for you, or you use something on a regular basis for your training, that's what you use during the race. Everything that you've trained with, that you're used to using, that's what you want to use during the race. Don't try something new in a race, especially of this magnitude. So I would recommend mixing it early and often, a little on the heavy side of the electrolytes, and every so often just drink a plain water with no electrolytes, but keep pounding the electrolytes the whole race. And we'll be on the lookout to make sure we keep you guys safe. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Steve.
Yep.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
So,
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, Steve, and appreciate all the work that you are doing day of race, and also all the stuff you did behind the scenes leading up to this. So thank you so much, Steve.
You're welcome.
Now we do have a lot of questions. Some of these let's wait, like for example, Scott Brown, Garrett, a couple other people will wait until we get to that point, because we're going to be talking about the specific things. But one of the things I do want to do right now is bring in Victoria. She is our aid station captain for aid station number 2. Just real quick, say hello.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Victoria Johnson. As Ben said, I am aid station captain number 2. So we will be at Williamsburg. So this is along the flat part of the race. This is around mile 9.5. And we call it the motivational mile because we have lots of signs coming in. You can't miss us. Lots of motivational signs and things like that. But really, the thing that I would say, just touching on the medical side, is that we had a lot of runners coming in hot, like not temperature hot, but fast, because that beginning section of the course is very flat. So it comes off as very fast versus the rest of the race. And a lot of people just blaze through the aid station, don't take anything. We realize it's early in the race, so we have lots of baggies and things to take things on the go. But I would say that even just stopping and grabbing a couple things might be valuable at our aid station. So just wanted to call that out as a segue from the medical stuff that we heard earlier. Now, a couple notes about our aid station would be, we have tons of ice. We have cool washcloths as well. You're welcome to take that with you to, if you need to get some cool water on yourself and just stay cool for the race. You're welcome to do that. We're big. So I'll post our goodies in the Facebook group, but we try to be mindful of our vegan sensitive, gluten, soy, other things, as we spoke about medical just a bit ago too, about not trying anything new before the race day. So we try to be mindful of that and offer things that might be good for keeping hydrated and not upset any stomachs or anything like that on race day. I'm sure I'm missing something. Is there anything else specifically you would like me to address about this aid station that might be valuable to share?
Well, you did touch upon, and there was several questions we had in the chat about if there are any vegan options, vegetarian options, and every aid station captain. I mean, this is not their first rodeo. A lot of them do dozens of other aid stations, for races across, this region, and they always try to accommodate everybody. I would not be worried about that. And we are also making, accommodations at the finish line. There will be vegan and vegetarian options. So, after the race, you can have a meal and celebrate, and not worry that even though it's by Doan's Barbecue, that the only thing they'll have is barbecue. So we try to aim to take care of everyone. So I'm gonna kind of say goodbye, Victoria. Since,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
of course.
Mhm.
Take care, everybody. Good luck on race
right.
day. We'll see you.
Okay. So, Patrick, maybe let's maybe just sort of run down through the race overview. But you know what? Before I do, there is one other volunteer, two other volunteers I just want to make a mention, and it is our volunteers of the year from 2024. Just a shout out to Dan Mort and Libby Mort, who just they were like just wow, they did everything last year. They were at the start. They had to jump in at aid station 1 whenever the one captain had a kind of a little traffic accident on the way to that aid station. So they jumped in there. They did their aid station volunteering, and then they spent the entire 8-10 hours at the finish line and helping out there. So yeah, we gave them a very nice plaque and award for thanking them, and we'll do the same again this year. Who will be that this year? It's interesting. So anyhow, Patrick,
Okay.
maybe go over the entire race.
Yes. One
The
question
race
I'm going to
element.
answer for multiple reasons. For people asking, Lefroy Goak, forget the year, 10-year, I think. No, we cannot promise a smoky scotch at any of the aid stations, but the captains will have other they will have other options outside the state parks. I know you do not want to run on scotch for the first time for this race.
This is.
But back to business. All right,
recommended.
so race overview. Saturday, we are a 2 p.m. start. One big thing for the race is we're doing our part to make sure you guys are well prepared and informed about the race. When we say something scary or threatening, please take us seriously. We're not trying to sound cool. We're trying to set you up for success because there are some challenges on the course, and we'll be very open about them in this briefing. Okay, we have a great website. Kudos to Ben for setting that up. There's a medium chance he's going to block out my face to show the website instead, which is perfectly cool. So the website has everything you are going to need is going to be on there. In particular, for runners who are not on Facebook, a lot of updates that we've sent are embedded inside the website. We recently started a YouTube channel that has some course navigation. All of those things are in the website. There's a course description. There's a participants guide that you can download ahead of time. So if you need to check it out when you don't have reception, maybe it's already on your device. Participant handbook's right there. Please save that to your phone if you run with a phone, which I think everyone does. We have GPX. One of the challenges of this race, for the majority of the race, you are following paint blazes. You will not see 60 miles of ribbons. Download the GPX, throw it on your phone so you can, or phone or your watch or whatever, so you can navigate with. We'll follow up more with that, but it is there on the website ahead of time. So if you want, you should be looking at the course. If you own a map, I personally use Purple Lizard maps. Look at their Rothrock map ahead of time. Do your research because navigation is part of this.
Well, this is kind of like an addition. We're constantly updating the race handbook. A eagle-eyed participant found a typo, which I fixed. It was some GPS coordinates to one of the aid stations, and so I would download it now instead of looking at a download maybe several days ago. And with the GPX, had a question earlier today. like they were kind of mystified why the GPX file was different from Plotterout versus Strava versus Drifter. And the reason is the GPX file is downloaded from their service. So they interpret the data a little bit differently. So, you're getting what the file that was created by that service and that output. It isn't like there is a native Grandmaster GPX file that is out there. It just depends on, the source material. But the course for all of them is the same. The only difference maybe one may say aid station to Williamsburg station than Williamsburg or something like that, something very minor. But yeah, all the GPX courses files are true to the course.
Okay. We are bombarding you with information ahead of time. We do a race briefing 10 minutes before the start, but if we give you 10 minutes worth of all the things you need to know, it's just going to all mush together. I'm actually a public school teacher, so we don't need to melt your brains right before the start. So do your research ahead of time. All right. Okay. Just the standard part of your registration. We will be giving you a bib. We get event timing, start line setup. You'll be getting 8 aid stations plus 2 water drops. Finish line party, online results will be available. These are you will absolutely get these and all kinds of bonuses. Okay, we're going to talk about race check-in. This is a change from all the previous years. Again, this is different. If you were here before, this is different. We are not handing out all of the race swag at the beginning of the race, because it's a point-to-point, and half of you were handing a shirt, and you guys didn't want to carry your shirt or maybe your glass for the whole trip. All of this swag is going to be distributed at the finish line. Your stickers, your glassware, your participant t-shirt, and hopefully your flannel. For the 50% that might not make it to the finish on course, please go to the finish line, get some food, grab a drink, cheer on some runners, tell us what jerks we are. I don't care. But we want to see especially Ben, tell him he's a jerk. We want to see as many of you at the finish line as possible. And we're saving you the hassle of giving you stuff ahead of time, because with the point-to-point, if you're running the shuttle, there are a lot of weird quirks that we are saving. So your swag will all be at the finish line. Now, being a point-to-point, if you haven't thought about this yet, if you don't have a crew, go to the finish line, park your car. I'll be there by 11 in the morning. Bus leaves at 12:15. I will, in a very teacher fashion, do a roll call just so I know who got on the bus and who didn't. That doesn't count as check-in, but I'll just make a record of who we have, and we'll take you to the start line so you can run towards your car. This is all on the website and will be in the pre-race email. But again, I'll be there at the blacksmith demonstration building. Like, the blacksmith shop is a big landmark at Greenwood Furnace. See you at 11. Bus leaves at 12:15. Actual check-in will be at Canoe Creek State Park. So just because I took your name for the bus, you still have to check in at Canoe Creek, and that's how you get your bib for the race. When you enter the park, we'll have signs, and we are in the canopy near parking lot 2. Or wait, we have Pavilion 2 this year, correct?
Pavilion 2.
2. But make it to the main entrance of the park, and there'll be signs, and we will make it easy for you. All right. You will receive an emergency blanket if you need it. If you don't think you need it, you are wrong. Even in this heat, if something, God forbid, something crazy happens, that you are lost on course, a participant from year 1 used his emergency blanket to stay warm overnight when he got off course.
And also, that emergency blanket was helpful for us because we were able to see this lost individual pretty easily. So that's another reason why, like Patrick said, even though it may be 68 degrees overnight, it after sweating for X number of hours, your body will that your core temperature will drop. So that's why we require you to have that emergency blanket.
And when we say require, that means you're going to have it with you. We don't care about your feelings, but we'll have them available just in case. Drop bags will be deposited at Canoe Creek. We have a mechanism. You can give us your drop bags at Greenwood Furnace as well, and we'll take them to Canoe Creek for you. You can have a drop bag dedicated for the finish line. If you're running, if like you carpooled with a friend and you're at different paces or etc. If you want to drop bags at the finish line for just change of clothes or whatever, definitely welcome to do that. A drop bag should be no bigger than a shoebox.
That's like the classic that you posted together.
That's my cute face. So the problem is with 100 runners, if you guys give us 100 Lowe's buckets, especially if they're like a quarter full, we don't have the mechanism to get all of these things to all of the remote places. That is not a personal attack on anyone, but be strategic about what you need and don't need. With the available drop bags, you probably don't need 5 pairs of shoes. Probably. I won't argue if you do. So like a shoe box, room for your shoes, stuff the snacks inside your smelly shoes. That's a reasonable size drop box. Ziploc bags are wonderful because they can be thrown away when they're done. Drawstring bags, things like that are fine, but nothing enormous. We're not taking Yeti coolers. We do not have the means to carry stuff that large. There will be ice at the aid stations anyway, so you don't have to freeze your stuff, which makes a watery mess that actually will damage and soak other runner stuff. Yes, drop bag size. Our logistics person and I will be there to review the size of your drop bag and heckle you accordingly, and we might help you whittle that down to an appropriate size if needed. Okay. Course navigation. Okay, we start on the when we leave Canoe Creek, which will be well ribboned, you go to the Lower Trail. It looks like lower, but it's called Lower Trail. It is a rail trail. You will run straight on the flat pavement. Your navigation's going to be on point there. At Aid Station 4, you begin following the orange paint marks for the Mid-State Trail. The Mid-State Trail is frequently repainted, well-maintained on a yearly basis. So it'll be very easy to follow those paint blazes. Aid Station 4, they'll direct you on where you're crossing. They'll point you up Short Mountain Road, which, although it's called a mountain, we don't even call that a climb. You're going to follow blazes almost to Aid Station 5 at the Rainbow Trail. And when you see that trail rainbow, it will instill all the happiness in the world. We will give you ribbons, and we will have a big sign that says turn left down the hill. That'll take you to a road. You'll run up the road, which will have blazes. Sorry, not blazes. It will have ribbons for you, and that'll take you to Aid Station 5, Coleraine, where you see John Grigorchik and company. You'll also see the race director for Black Forest in World's End. So if you'd like to prepare some harsh words for Dave Walker, or a thank you, he'll be good for either. Anyway, so that takes you to back on the Mid-State. You will run across the Mid-State. By GPS, it's a straight line. The trail does wiggle ever so slightly, but rocky straight line. When you cross PA Furnace Road, and we have for abundance of signs there and big, long, arm-length pink ribbons to take you down just a little bit of the road before you enter Pump Station Trail, where you have a good, honest, runnable, bombable downhill that'll take you to Aid Station 6. Aid Station 6 will take you down to Harry's Valley Road. We'll throw some ribbons there for you. Then traditionally, we've had some radio people next to our big giant sign where you will hit our second climb of the race, Indian Steps. We'll have some ribbons to get you on the steps. We won't ribbon the steps heavily because it's the only thing you can do is go forward straight up or, turn around and go down the hill and quit. At the top of Indian Steps, we'll have a big sign that asks you to turn right. You're going to follow some ribbons, and the YouTube channel does have a course navigation video of this section. You're on the mid-state there. There's an intersection, a wooden sign for Campbell Trail. We'll have signage by us and ribbons to take you to another runnable section. Our question earlier on the distance between Aid Station 6 and 7, these are the downhills I was talking about. So Campbell Trail will have blazes for you. You'll cross Harry's Valley Road, follow blazes, down to the ski trail. There'll be a hard turn. I'm looking at this sideways, hard turn to the left to take you to our road crossing. You'll cross the road, and again, ribbons in all of this section. That's my assignment for Friday, rain or shine. Once you cross, yes.
Oh, by the way, just so people know that we do have a course marshals out here at different locations, one of them being here. And I know with some races in the past, there have been one or two people that got to the road and then ran down the road. Well, this marshal right here is going to tell you to turn around and go back up the hill and do the course correctly. So just to remind you that. But again, there is a video that Patrick did on the website that talks a little bit more about that intersection.
Yeah. Okay, so all of this, the overall theme, when we take you off the mid-state, we ribbon it for you. You've just crossed Route 26. You're going to go down the Lowry Trail. There'll be a little bit of road, which is Pine Swamp Road. One of the questions in the chat, will roads be marked? Yes, this is a road section that is not the mid-state. Some signage and ribbons will give you a left turn on Pine Swamp, is it? Pine something, right? Pine Swamp. Mm-hmm. And then before too long, you will start the third big climb of the race. Some ribbons will take you up that road, pop you into the woods.
Yep, right here.
That is actually the Ironstone course, like the original Ironstone Trail that the race was named after. You are off the mid-state. We will have ribbons for you. There's a three-way intersection. We'll make a sign for you. You will follow the ribbons with a left turn. That takes you back up to Joe Hayes Vista, a big parking area. We'll have a water drop just on the other side of the fence so that just so people aren't involved with the race don't help themselves because they don't know any better. That section is the Jackson Trail. It's not the mid-state. So if it's not the mid-state, we ribbon it. You will run directly across the Jackson Trail. That takes you, like if you follow it forward, you go to the mid-state. Once we connect you to the mid-state, there'll be a sign on a post that says, you are on the mid-state, follow the orange blazes. If you've looked at this ahead of time, or if you look at it ahead of time, this will go better for you. Read the course narratives, download the participant guides. Really, as long as you remember, if we give you a ribbon, follow it. We'll take you back to the orange blazes, and they will not be ribboned from there. Okay, and then so this this takes us along the ridge up to Little Flat Fire Lookout Tower, which is Aid Station 7 by the Rascals. They will send you out of that area. You are following the midstate, orange blazes. In that section, there is going to be a sign with a hard right turn. If you see a sign and you run by it as quickly as you can without reading the wooden sign, you are wrong, and this is not the race for you. Read the sign, and it'll say midstate, turn here, and just keep following the orange blazes that hopefully you've been following the whole time. That will take you down to an intersection where the Midstate Trail and the Standing Stone Trail meet. Big giant sign to follow the orange blazes of the Standing Stone Trail, which takes you into Alan Seeger, and then navigation is an absolute cakewalk from there. But yeah, there are two road sections that exist. Those will all be ribboned for you.
I do want
Go
to
ahead,
make people aware that before Alan Seeger, there is this bridge that is partially out. You can jump to the middle span, but it's kind of weird getting to the other span, because it's like in the middle of the creek. If the water is high, we will divert you over onto this trail to Alan Seeger, but at this time, you'll still be crossing the creek at this bridge right here.
If there are any trail divertings that happen, we'll include it in our pre-race speech, and we will throw big arm-length pink ribbons up. So colorblind people, you'll see a long ribbon flapping in the breeze. So any of those changes, we'll make sure to mark. We have no control over random flooding, acts of God, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the rundown. If you remember literally two things, study the course ahead of time, and it's orange paint until it's pink ribbons. GPS is a great guide. You really should bring a compass with you. Just anyway in life in general, you should know how to use a compass. But in case your phone battery dies, it smashes, battery doesn't last as long as you think, compass is a smart idea to have too. Okay, Ben, do you want to add any thoughts or points on navigation in the course before I go into safety and gear?
Let me check, because I think there were a couple people that had some questions, and it kind of pertained to the course. I know that one person, and we kind of answered it, Scott Brown, wanted to know, once we deviate from the Midstate Trail, the orange ribbons, what happens? Well, we give you a sign and ribbons, pink ribbons, that you'll follow. In fact, yeah, that was kind of his comment there.
One comment I want to get to, will there be streams to filter water with, Catadin Bee-Free Life Straw? On the ridge, no. There are no streams. There will be signs for springs are at best a quarter mile off the course, which we would not recommend.
We would definitely not recommend.
Yes. I mean, if you want bonus miles, you're allowed to run a bonus mile and return to the course where you entered if you feel that's a viable race strategy, which we would not recommend or support. But no, up on top of the ridge, there are no streams. You will not have a chance to use your Bee-Free or Life Straw. There's a few sections on the lowlands that, yes, there is water, but those will be so shortly after a water drop anyway that it's not that is not a viable strategy to use.
Go
ahead, Ben.
let me think here. How many total miles of the course we call non-runnable? It really depends on who you are. Some people say that once you get onto the mid-state trail, it's all unrunnable. Some of them say that as soon as you make it after aid station 7, it's runnable. It really depends on what your jam is. But this is a technical course, so do expect rocks and other types of terrain thrown at you. So yeah.
On that note, for the preview runs the past couple weekends, anytime I've said, hey, we've entered a runnable section, the group looks at it and tells me I'm a liar. So joggable, hike with purpose, what you consider like a rail trail, like spread your legs, enjoy a good run. You will see those mostly on the rail trail and a few downhill points, just in some of the downhills. So yeah, there is a lot of technical stuff. If you can run in the dark, dodging rocks and kind of like, jump back and forth across the rocks or look up, it is joggable. Most people can do 20-minute miles if they're awake and energetic. But there are some sections that no one, not even a race director, would lie to you and say it's runnable.
True. So let me think here. So we talked about navigation. Maybe we should talk about safety.
Oh, first off, if it's a minor injury, the best thing you can do is try to walk forward. We leave aid stations open until the sweepers and the last runners get in. We'll have food and first aid and services waiting for you. If you can go forward, please do. We know what to expect. Once someone goes forward from an aid station and the sweepers go forward, the aid station is closing down. And depending on the circumstances, we cannot guarantee that if you backtrack, someone will still be there. Always go forward if possible. If you can't go forward, and if that does happen, we get it, stay put. Other runners will see you. We have sweepers in teams with radios that, regardless of phone reception, can get in touch with you.
One of the questions in the chat was, if I'm injured on the course and I have self-service, can I call somebody? Well, yes, technically, but what has happened in several other races that I've been in, people don't really know exactly where they are. So they end up, giving us wrong directions, and we end up, sending people, to the wrong location and other types of problems. And we are limited by the number of resources we have. I mean, there's only a team of sweepers at the back. There are other runners that will be able to see to run by you, which actually even happened last year. Runners were able to let us know about another runner that was behind them that needed assistance, and we were able to send help from that aid station back to that particular runner. So just to make it kind of like easier for us and not to have any more confusion, if you're hurt, we'll find you.
If you have an emergency blanket, you can sit there forever. And, Kelly, who asked this question, she has my number from Group Runs. Just because you have my number does not mean I have reception. I would do anything for you, but you can't actually count on me if I'm an Alan Seeger taking care of something else and my phone doesn't ring.
Yes, like for example, she may, be able to, have signal, but the person that she needs to talk to doesn't have signal. Like I said, a lot of the aid stations, don't have cell phone service. So, having someone to talk to might be an issue.
Okay. Do you want me to go forward or?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so stay put. If you can't move, we will get to you. This takes us to mandatory gear. If you have the emergency blanket, you can sit there forever. You can go 3 days without water. It will not take us 3 days to find you. We'll get you in an hour or two. Have that emergency blanket no matter what. We've had runners, even who finished the race, who made it to aid station 7 completely soaked. They made this incredible cape out of their emergency blanket. So they're all wrapped in it with their vest pinning it down, enjoying their snacks, and actually left the aid station still wearing their space blanket like a cape to keep their body temperature up. Bring it no matter what. Headlamp. You need this for the night section. Do not leave aid station 4 without your headlamps. Now you can drop back at there.
Aid station 4. Because you may not make it to 5 by the time that the sun sets. It's in that section. We one of the reasons why we have that 2 o'clock is there is an awesome, well, 2 awesome vistas that are between 4 and 5 that most of the runners get there between 90 minutes before sunset. And let me tell you, it is one of the best views in Pennsylvania, in my opinion. So,
yeah. Headlamp. It's going to be dark. If you're following paint ribbons, your headlamp is not going to be on the lowest setting. So you might want more batteries than usual, like an extra set of batteries. Some people really swear by having a headlamp and a second thing, either a handheld, a belt lamp, something else. You've got 2 sources of light giving shadows, but make sure you have enough battery that you have a bright headlamp for the entire overnight section. In terms of allergies, antihistamines, EpiPens, we do not carry those for you. So if you're worried about bees, have your EpiPen with you anyway. Antihistamines are a good idea if you're comfortable, but bring those things with you. Here's some things that we call recommended gear. I don't know why we don't make it mandatory. We're getting soft, Ben. You should have an emergency whistle. If something goes really bad, rather than you shouting yourself hoarse, below that whistle, people will be able to find the sound of it. They'll know something's wrong. A lot of your packs might have that included anyway. Good to check out. Bring the whistle. It'd be great to have some kind of map. If you don't want to carry the full map, if you want to take pictures I will have my maps at the start and finish. Oh, and Greenwood, like the bus shuttle before the start. If you want to take pictures of my maps to help you navigate, do something. This is a great idea. As far as recommended gear, we don't keep the NSAIDs around. We're not going to give you ibuprofen. Most of those pain relievers have mixed reviews on when it is good and not good to take them during an intense athletic event. We will not have them. If you think you're going to need it, you should keep them with you because we're not going to risk destroying your. I'm no scientist. I forget which one is bad for, but we're not going to do that to you. Bring those things on your own. Wildlife. Wildlife exists out there. I actually saw the bear cub for the first time in years the other week, but he was not on course. They don't like the top of the ridge, and you're going to smell and taste terrible by then anyway. The wildlife you are most likely to see are rattlesnakes. They don't want anything to do with you. They can't eat you. They are polite enough. They will rattle at you, which is a good indicator. Hey, please go away. So they're not aggressive. You would literally have to poke them with a stick or a trekking pole or kick them intentionally for them to strike you. Having said that, if you stay 6 feet away, you are further away than they can reach. You are perfectly safe, 6 feet away, and they will want nothing to do with you. You've got nothing to worry about. Please don't run in headphones. I don't care how
Yes.
good your jams are.
Mhm.
If you can't hear a rattlesnake, you are wrong. Okay. Any gear, safety, stuff, anything you want to add to that, Ben?
No, there were a couple of comments that just very quickly. Gels. We do not have gels at the aid stations. The reason being is no matter what gel we get, most of the people are not going to like them. So, you buy, one brand and they're like, I don't want that brand. And then you buy another brand. So we recommend for anyone that likes using gels to carry them on their own. And, they hardly weigh anything. So, yeah, please make sure you do that. And someone, I guess maybe they were looking at a different race because they thought we had a river crossing. There's not a river crossing. You go over a river, but no, you don't have to worry about getting water up to your waist. Maybe they're thinking of eastern states. I'm not sure, but yeah. So maybe this is a good time to talk about some of the rules, the race rules.
Yes, race rules. And I'm going to preface with two things. The rules are ultimately to keep you safe. And if a rule seems really bizarre or out there, it's because these are things other races have problems with. Okay, first off, no bandits or pacers allowed. I don't know if this is too late. If you want a pacer, the only way to do that is have your friend run the entire thing with you. But we don't have pacers coming in and out. But if future, if you want a friend just to do the whole race with you, we would gladly support that. No bandits. Okay. Course cutting. Follow the marked course. If you get off course, return to where you came from. Race marshals, timing mats, trail cameras. So yeah, return to the point of departure and then carry up when you left on. Make sure your race bib is visible at all times. At every aid station, we track who came in and who left, so we know people where people are. If someone is lost, we want to be able to narrow that location down. So make sure it is visible so that race staff can recognize you as a runner and not a bandit, so they know where you're in, so we can track you. Cutoff times. With cutoff times, they are strictly enforced by the aid station captain. This is in fairness of the athletic event. Doesn't matter what your watch says. At that location, if you do not leave that aid station location at the prescribed time, you are cut from the race, and we will take your bib and we will get you safely back to the finish line. If there is some reason that you are unsafe to continue, logistically, medically confused, they do have the right to pull you in the spirit of keeping you alive. All right. This next rule, I'd like to think it's all encompassing. We call it the don't be a jerk rule. Please be courteous to the race staff and other participants. Any kind of abusing the volunteers or other participants could result in a disqualification. As far as volunteers go, you have total strangers who are driving to obscure places in the woods without reception to hang out overnight to help you succeed in the race. They are investing a lot of time into total strangers. These are awesome people. We're so appreciative to have them. Make sure you show their appreciation. And if in the middle of the night, if they forget the answer to a question or, whatever, let's give them some grace, because no one's perfect, but they are absolutely making a tremendous commitment to your success. Thank them. Be courteous. As far as other participants go, oh, Ben, go ahead.
Well, no, another thing I wanted to add was, it's also a two-way street. And what I mean by that is, if there is an aid station volunteer that, is, kind of, outside the lines of, what is acceptable behavior and whatnot, Pat and I would like to hear that as well, because we're kind of like in this as it's a contract between you and us and the race, and we want to be good stewards and representatives of the sport. So this is what we ask of you, but we also promise, and if something happens that we break that promise, we want to know about it, and make the accommodations and the corrections that we need.
Yeah. If you see Ben or like Ben and I will be at like leapfrogging all the aid stations. If you don't see us in person, you can always ask to talk to a captain. That's the best. If something's going wrong, that's the best way to approach that. Okay. But yes, don't be a jerk rule. As far as other participants, this is an athletic contest. This is not an emotional, intellectual contest against each other. We're not harassing each other. This is a great community where we are building each other up because we want everyone to be successful. So yeah, no nonsense. As far as dropping out, drop out at an aid station. Surrender your race bib. Now, when we take bibs, this is not a punishment. This is not an insult. We have limited reception. We're relying on radio chatter. When we have a stack of bibs from drops or people who miss cutoffs, we have a physical document. We have an artifact of these are the runners that we can account for their safety. We take your bibs for that reason and no other reason. So when you miss cutoff or when you drop, that's why we take those. So it gives our radio people a chance to be successful with all the lines of communication going back and forth. If you don't cooperate with this, you will be disqualified. You might not be able to, there'll be a potential exclusion from future races. Next thing, once you drop out of the race, so be it. You follow the rules of crew members from then on. If you drop out or you miss cutoffs, you can be where crew is allowed to be. The hard line of the rules are all on the Ironstone website. Ben, anything you want me to, or anything you want to add before we go into the crew rules?
Very quickly, the last rule that you had, it's to prevent, like, for example, a hypothetical, if you drop out, like, say, at aid station 5 and you want to meet your friend that you're running with at aid station 7, which is an uncrewed aid station, you cannot do so. But you are more than welcome to, be a crew member from that point on and meet them at aid station 6, aid station 8, and then cheer them on at the finish.
All right. Crew rules. This is easy. Crew, you can go to even numbers. You can't go to odd numbers. No exceptions. Some of these, in particular, aid station 7, if you haven't been there and you don't know where you're going, you will get stuck on a mountainside. And not only are you stuck, which is unfortunate, but you're actually blocking race vehicles or potentially emergency vehicles from getting there. So go to even stations, 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are the only places crew can drive to. It's for a safety concern and also just for us retaining our permit and being able to do this from year to year. Don't go to stations where Ben and I have agreed that we will not have a large pile of cars there.
Yes, and to single out aid station 5, Coleraine, there is enough parking for crews, and aid station 7, unless you have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, you're going to bottom out and get yourself stuck on that road. And prevent volunteers and also in case emergency personnel to get to that aid station.
Yeah. So crews can be at those. Again, dropped runners, you are not allowed to go to the odd number. You can only go to an odd number aid station if you get there on foot. You may not drive to an odd number aid station. Parking is very limited at aid stations. Some of you are going to have more than one crew person. That's cool. Limit cars as much as possible. Park tidy. Park respectful.
Basically,
Go ahead.
if everyone's parked on the left side of the road, don't park on the right, because then you won't be able to, and no one will be able to get through on those very tight state forest roads. So yeah, please keep that in mind.
Leave enough room that our box truck can get there to pick up supplies, or our dropped runner vehicle can get close to the action. In addition, in general, keep your crew activities out of the way and within 25 yards of the aid station. Follow instructions of the aid station captain. The aid station captain, everyone has the authority or autonomy to, they might push you over to a certain location. They might keep you away from the tables because it's very hard to get. It's hard for a confused or tired runner to go through 10 strangers who are just hanging around the snack table, which you shouldn't be taking anyway, because people aren't paying attention. Stay out of the way. Let the aid station volunteers and captain manage their flow of traffic. Hang back out of the way. Once your runner's there, absolutely all hands on deck. Take care of your runner. Crewing should be done within close to the aid station. We should not have do not create your own aid station of I know my way around, and don't just plan to meet your runner at an aid station, or not an aid station. Don't plan to meet your runner at some random road crossing that you think you know. That is giving people an unfair advantage, and that's putting cars on back roads that are not included in our permit. And that is both dishonest to the athletic competition and just hurts the race being able to happen. Only crew them at the crew locations, which are all even. Sorry, I keep going into teacher voice. I guess I've been too far off work. All right. Ben, anything to add for crew rules before we talk about the post-race festivities?
No, I don't think so. Go ahead.
Sweet. Okay. The party will start by 8 a.m. Yes, a few runners are going to be faster than that. All right. There will be breakfast. When we stop serving breakfast, that just means we're starting lunch. There will be beer by Levity. We will have non-alcoholic options as well. There will be coffee by Buzzsaw. Participants, crew, and volunteers eat for free, drink for free. We are not giving you a coupon or a stub or tear off the corner of your bib. Nope. Congrats on your hard work. Eat and drink for free.
And for the crew, crewing ain't easy. So it's a way for them to be rewarded.
Excellent. We will have an awards presentation at 11:55 a.m. for the overall male and female. That's not the end of the race. The cutoff's at 1. We want as many people as possible for that last
golden hour.
Because the golden hour, those are the people who've been out there the longest. They've suffered the longest. Objectively, they've worked the hardest. Let's give them the biggest cheering section, the fullest starting line. Let's give them the most noise. So anyone, if at all possible, you can hang out until 1 o'clock and cheer on the golden hour, last of the pack. That is the most fun part of the race. Yes, all of your swag will be distributed. So your participation t-shirts, if you ordered the glassware, tumblers, you'll get your stickers. Tattoos are only temporary this year.
This year.
This year.
Yes.
And again, in all seriousness, those of you who miss a cutoff or need to drop, we still just want to see you. We still want to give you a sandwich and a drink, or a salad and a drink, or what have you. We'd love to see everyone in agreement at the end. So yeah, that covers our post-race festivities. Ben, thoughts?
So I know we had a bunch of comments. Some of them we did talk about, some of them we didn't. So if we didn't get to your comment, please, chime in like now so we can get to it. And
Some of the older comments. On my screen, I'm looking at the oldest comment and moving forward. So someone had asked, as a first-time runner, what about the race makes it so hard? 50% finisher rate. He asked about terrain. Yes. Vertical. We have 4 giant climbs that are all after the first 20 miles of flat. So 4 big climbs. That takes away from your finisher rate. 2 p.m. start. Hot afternoon. Yep, you nailed it. Heat. It's a course record this year. If we don't have a course record for speed, we'll have a course record for heat. I'm sorry. He asked him,
so you're saying like all the stuff that he talked about, it's yes.
Yes. Does a flat start make it harder? If you give 110% on the rail trail, that has punished people in the past. Do what you need to with that. I think the biggest things to think about, all joking aside with your question, you hit terrain on the head. It's rocky. There are sections that are hikeable, but not always runnable, or there are sections where it takes a lot of concentrate. They are joggable with full concentration. And navigation is a thing. You have to follow the paint blazes. They are there, but if you're not paying attention, navigation will be hard. And when you get off course and have to return, or where you lose track of where the course is, that will slow you down, and it'll make it harder, but not impossible. So those are the best honest descriptions. As far as navigation goes, if you find someone in the middle of the night who's your pace, you should be the best of friends and hang with each other and help each other navigate until the sun comes up. In terms of old questions, we got Scott's question about the ribboning from Lowry to PA 26. George reminded everyone, do not take hydration lightly. Tailwind is our sponsor. We have all of the Tailwind you can drink. If you don't like Tailwind, drop bag yourself anything you like. Take care of your hydration. Samuel's question for the drop bags. If you give me a drop bag at Greenwood Furnace, you can do it then, and we will shuttle it for you. Good friend, Greg Hood. He saw 3 guys running the wrong direction. Compasses are important. Let's see.
I think that's pretty much it if you're going chronologically. I'm just going to give everybody last minutes while we do that. One of the things that I do want to say that, yeah, I can be, I don't know, snarky at times, a little sarcastic with participants. Like I may be at the start and call you a flatlander. It's not, being cruel or mean, but we honestly want as many people to finish it as possible, and it's kind of just our brand kind of like says that we're kind of have that attitude, but also if that is the fuel, the motivation to prove me wrong, then do it. That gives me more satisfaction, happiness to see someone that we might have written off to come through the finish line and just kill the course. So have at it and have a good time, be safe, and we all look forward to having you New Creek at moments before 2:00.
Yeah, our love language, we express it in two ways. One of it is rocks on course, and the other is verbal abuse. Right, Jerkface?
Right. Crap. Head.
Swing and a miss.
He's just like, he just threw me off balance. We don't have Stinky online anymore, so I can't, give her any grief. But anyhow, I guess that concludes the race briefing. You can watch this again on our Facebook page and also on YouTube. And if anybody has any other questions between now and then, we are very busy getting everything handled for the race, but we will take some time to answer any questions through either Facebook or email or whatnot. So there's a lot of ways for you to communicate with us. And hopefully you have a safe trip, and see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Well, that's it. Talk to you later.